Hello, Jermaine Andre here, and I'm here to explain a little bit to you about my youth mixed martial art training program. The first thing I definitely want to make clear about teaching youth MMA, ages, and my youth MMA program is for ages 5 to 15. And it's mixed martial arts. I know we all watch, Ultimate Fighting. You see MMA on TV, and you even see some of the people who have gotten involved in MMA, and a lot of people make MMA look rude. They make the mixed martial arts look unskilled and untalented. I assure you that my youth program is not about this. It is not about, kids beating down kids, and it's not even about kids fighting each other. That is not what the mixed martial arts is. The mixed martial arts means a mixture of many martial arts that someone has mastered, mainly the instructor who's teaching and instructing it. So I like to keep it a very important note that we always have to keep in mind that teaching a kid MMA, teaching him arm bars, elbow strikes, knee strikes is like handing a child a loaded gun. You have to give responsibility first and last. Before fighting comes, respect, discipline, control, compassion are all things that must be covered. And that child should be monitored, and that child should be disciplined for when they step slightly out of line, because we're putting that child out there on the streets with other children and with other people, and we're turning them into an adult who is going to be a weapon, because that's what the martial arts does. There's no lying and no tricking about it. If a kid is learning to kick and punch, a man, a woman, you learn to kick and punch, you're turning yourself into a weapon. So MMA, mixed martial art training, martial art training for kids is not a toy. This is not Chuck E. Cheese. This is not a play place, and you should not allow your child to look at things in that way. And that's one of the main things we push in Andre's Academy, is to ensure that our children know that respect, discipline, self-control, all of these things, respect for authority, teamwork, leadership skills, life skills come first, and they hold priority over fighting and combat. So I'm just going to show you a little bit my youth training program. First of all, I took my time to study the needs and the concerns of youth today, and they differ for the martial arts. When all martial arts, when they were created and designed for a certain situation. So for instance, capoeira was created in Brazil during a slave time, when the slaves' hands and feet were chained, and they actually were not allowed to practice martial arts. So they created this martial art where they move on the ground and with their feet and hands close together, because they were chained, and they made it appear as a dance. So when the authorities came through, they say, "Hey, we're just dancing, having a good time. But hey, no martial art training here." And then they used that martial art to defend and protect themselves. So having said this, when I created my youth mixed martial art program, I say, what do kids need? What is the priority for them? What's most important to them? Well, it's not just putting somebody in an arm bar. It's not just punching somebody in the face. That's not top priority for a kid. Top priority number one is abduction resistance. So I've created my program where they have abduction resistance. And I said number two, we all know about all the horrible things that's happening with bullying, is bully awareness. So I said they need bully awareness. They need a good anti-bully program, that's in their martial art program. When they come here and their parents bring them here to learn from the world champ, to learn the martial arts, the first thing they're going to learn is how to not get abducted, how to be smart, how to be at home, how to walk the streets safe. Second thing they're going to learn is how to get along with their school buddies and their friends, how to not get bullied, and how to not be a bully. That's also most important. Then after that, we move into boxing, we move into Muay Thai kickboxing, we move into Russian Sambo, Jiu-Jitsu, Judo, all of these things. As I'm getting to know your child, and getting to know that your child can be controlled, and your child is developing compassion and understanding and responsibility for these tools that are being issued to him, we move farther and farther into things that they can use to better defend themselves, or defend somebody that they care for, or defend somebody innocent. But having said this, I built the program. I also wrote a book, and I'll let you take a peek at the book here as I talk. Stay with me now. You can see right here, Mixed Martial Art Playbook, Youth Edition. And there's some great students of mine on the front. And just kind of give you a little piece of for their white belt program. You see right here, respect, discipline, self-control. That's top priority. Abduction resistance protocol. That's what they get. There's prevention tips. Here's some tips on how to, escape. And this book, this is a fully illustrated book. I mean, this is a thick book, Anti-Bully Protocol. We go into there, how they can stop bullying, how to not be a bully, how to read signs. We even got bully awareness for parents protocol, so you can see what's going on, what's happening with the kid. Behavior etiquette. Like I said, I'm not handing out weapons over here until they understand these things. Politeness, addressing an adult. Hygiene, cleanliness is important. Oh my goodness, cleanliness is important for kids. Make sure your child is clean before they go to train anywhere. Soccer, football, baseball. You do not want your kid to be the stinky kid. All right. Nutrition. A lot of kids don't have any idea that their behavior, the way that they behave, the problems they have with being tired, being aggressive, not being happy, being depressed, being sad, being agitated, has to do with what they're eating. So I have a little something to help them with their eating habits. Then after we went through all this, their uniform care, you can see our kids in uniform there. They need to understand structure. They need to understand you go to work, you got to wear a uniform, man. It don't matter if you don't want to wear it. It doesn't matter if you don't like it. You have to be structured. All right. Andre's MMA techniques. Then we start getting into the techniques. And right here you can see me with my weird haircut. And there's instructor Tim Reiser, been with me for well over 8 years. All the instructors up here that deal with our youth have been under me for 8 years. I don't just throw anyone down there on the floor with your kid. Okay? And you see here, they're going to first thing to learn how to defend themselves. Blocks and, and counters in case someone's trying to hit them, because they have to learn these things. The first thing in self-defense is to defend. To defend means to evade or block an attack. So that's the first thing we teach them. That's part of their bully awareness protocol. These kids getting swung on, things like that, by some big bully. When you're not there, when you can't be there to help them, I can't be there to help them. The school teacher can't be there to help them. This stuff happens in seclusion. They have to have something to defend themselves. When I created this program, keeping in mind that this is something my daughter may have to use, not just somebody else's kid. So I wanted to be effective and I wanted to be real. I'm not just going to sit there and tell your kid, don't this and don't that, because what I tell my daughter that. I'm keeping it real for you. So a little bit more, they learn how to fall. Of course, I can't take you all the way through my book. You see some confidence, courage, calmness, because, I'm sure there are people, looking right now and probably going to design their program off of mine. That's not good. All right, stretching. I'm big on the physical fitness. We're going to make sure your kid is a superior athlete. And then here we are, once they get their yellow belt, getting into green belt stuff. You can see we even get into gymnastics with them, teaching them how to roll, how to make a proper fist. How many places do you go to even show how fists are supposed to be made? Now we're getting into boxing. But of course, like I said, I can't, show everything here. We're just going to thumb through some more. Different martial arts. That's one of the things also that I like to make sure of. Is that your child knows many different martial arts. We're going to study from boxing, Muay Thai kickboxing, judo, karate, jeet kune do, taekwondo. Then they get to jiu-jitsu, Russian sambo, wrestling. All right. They're going to learn how to lift weights. They're going to learn how to run, road and track. All the things that help to make me a world champion is what I include in their youth training program. So they slowly develop and they're going to learn a taste from all martial arts. This is what MMA really is. This is what the mixed martial arts really is. MMA is not about going in a cage mad or half drunk and trying to beat somebody's brains out. That's not MMA. That's tough man. MMA stands for mixed martial arts. The martial arts, that means mixed martial arts. That's the mixing of several martial arts styles by a person who has mastered several martial arts, not somebody who's just punching and kicking. Anybody can do that. So I make sure your child understands this. They understand the respects of where every technique they learn comes from. This kick is from Taekwondo. This kick is from Karate. This kick is from Muay Thai. You're going to respect everything you learn. This technique is from Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. This technique is from Russian Sambo. This technique is from American Wrestling. This is from American Boxing. This technique comes from the streets. I keep it real because one thing I do believe is children, they want the truth. They can feel the truth. And when you give them the truth, they respect it. And it's only going to help them, good kids to turn into great adults. So that's a little bit of piece right there on what my youth training program is about up here. And I hope to see you and your kid up here soon.